everyone to our November call. Our theme this month is nurture, which those of us around the world, everywhere, can use a little bit more nurturing after this week, this month, this year. So we're all pleased to have you here, and I'll hand it over to Susie to give us an intro and a little background on the Wellness Moonshot, a world free of preventable disease. Over to you, Susie, and I'll start.
Thank you, Kate, and you can share your screen. So just as a reminder where we are, and I know there's always new people, this is our full moon Wellness Moonshot celebration, and it's Friday, November 6th, and it is November. So the Wellness Moonshot, this was actually on stage at the Breakers in Palm Beach in 2017. And many of you might know that the Global Wellness Summit is starting on Sunday, again at the Breakers. We pivoted from Tel Aviv because of the travel restrictions. So some of these people will be there with us again, Dr. Richard Carmona, who is on the right. So this was when we launched the Wellness Moonshot, a world free of preventable disease. And I think the thing that I feel when I look at this photo is that everyone there was on the same page. And this is a combination of medical people and wellness people. And so that has really resonated, I think. So next one. Yeah, these are the people that were on stage. You know a lot of them. And so we'll go to the next slide. And that is Dr. Rich Carmona. And I want to point out to the right is Jessica Jesse. And she is the one that designs. She is the most extraordinary designer, creative person. And you can see behind her is the calendar for that year. And if we're done with the slides, I'm going to just show something here, Kate. There. Okay, so I'm just going to let you know, the first year, the calendar was all about flowers, and it was gorgeous, and you can see it hanging. The next year, which is this year, it was all about trees, and it's Jessica who does all of these fabulous things. And I can't tell you, but at the summit, she is going to announce what the theme is for next year, and it's going to be fabulous, and it's very different. So anyway, I'm just letting you know that the calendar is going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to add it to the ones hanging behind me. And we'll be announcing it on, I think it is on Tuesday. So you'll know after that. So over to you, Kate. I just want to welcome everyone. And I'm happy to celebrate Nurture this month with all of you.
Thank you so much, Susie. And again, welcome to everyone who has joined us during that introduction. We're so happy to have you all with us. Just a couple logistics as we go through. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Zoom, but if you are not, we do have a chat box. Please do introduce yourself, chat with each other, share things that resonate with you throughout the call or anything additional. You can mute and unmute yourself. I will go ahead and mute most of us now, just so that we can hear those speaking, but you can unmute yourself by clicking in the bottom left-hand corner, as well as with your video. We would love to see as many of you as possible. So if that is possible wherever you are, please do turn on your video. So now we'll move into kind of speaking more about nurturing. And as Susie said, when we launched the Wellness Moonshot, we needed everyone, the medical professionals, the wellness professionals, everybody was on the same page. And as we look to expand this to really create a world free of preventable disease, we knew we would need some key partners in being able to do that. And one of our partners is Prevention Magazine. We have Sarah Smith with us here, and I'll also share quickly what they show each month. They put the Wellness Moonshot in their magazine as well as online. You can see it here. And they've just provided a much needed support in getting the message out to more and more people. And I'd love to pass it over now to Sarah so she can share a little bit about how they nurture wellness and well-being within their workplace and their team. Sarah?
Thank you, Kate. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Smith. I'm the editor of Prevention. And, I'll tell you what's funny about magazines is that we work, pretty far ahead. So while we featured the Nurture Moonshot specifically in the November issue, we were thinking about it even before November. And it continues to influence us now as we're working on January and February. And, that's really what I've loved so much about the Moonshot is how lasting all the ideas are. So January is typically the month when magazines tell you how to lose weight and detox everything and change your life and lose some more weight. But we decided not to go there this year, to use that month to really give our readers more support. We've got this great guide in it to building on what you already love and do well. And, the whole issue is really about nurturing yourself. And it has really influenced, we're thrilled to be bringing that to our readers. We're thrilled to be discussing it and making it a priority among the people creating all of that content on our staff. So, I want to thank the Global Wellness Institute and Renee and Jessica, for really inspiring more joy and less stress, in so many ways.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate you and sharing that with us. Also, to help us further the message around the world, we did partner with 3 companies who stepped up to really expand the reach within their respective countries. We partnered with Victor Koo in China of Hei Holdings and Tiren Culture. In Israel, we partnered with Amir Alroy from Welltech One. And in India, Dr. M, as he's known, from Smart Health City. And normally these individuals would be here to speak with us. Some of them had some things come up and were not able to join us live, but we do have Teresa here to represent on behalf of Victor Koo for China. And so I'd also like to just ask her to share a little bit as well on how they nurture well-being. So Teresa, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So this is Teresa from Tiren Culture here in China. It's evening time. And I think to me, nurture meaning we need to stay a little bit more patient about everything. We don't need to rush every time, and we don't need to get too disappointed if we don't see things turn out to be the ways we want it to be. If we keep nurturing and nurturing good habits, nurturing healthy lifestyles, one day I believe good things will turn out. So just keep nurturing and stay patient.
Thank you so much, Teresa. That was so wonderful.
Thank you.
Stay patient. I think we can all use a little bit more patience these days, or we're all being asked to be patient. So it's an opportunity for all of us. So thank you all so much. And thank you to all of our partners who really help us expand this message and help us create a world free of preventable disease. And now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who, while she couldn't be with us live, we recorded a special message for you. Agape Stephanopoulos is a speaker and best-selling author of Unbinding the Heart and Wake Up to the Joy of You. For those of you who have been with the Global Wellness Summit family, you may have seen her on our stage as a keynote. She inspires audiences around the world, and she chose to inspire you all with this wonderful nurturing experience. So please kind of sit back, enjoy. I'm going to share my screen and sound, and this is a message from Agape.
Hi, everyone. Hi, my beautiful Global Wellness Summit friends. It's been a while since we saw each other. I am now in Los Angeles, quarantining like all of us. And my heart and my thoughts are with you with the greatest wish that we'll all be able to be together soon again and be able to hug and break bread together and share our joy and dance, and most of all, support each other in our health and wellness. So this morning, I'm going to take just a few moments. I wanted to do this in the garden with all of you in Los Angeles in our garden because we're very blessed. The sun is shining, and I feel the sun is one of the most important things to me, being a Mediterranean girl, for nurturing. So the theme of today is nurturing and beauty and nurturing. So right now, join me in taking a moment to evoke the nurturing in all of us. How do we nurture ourselves? How do we nurture each other? How do we nurture our projects, our ideas, all the things that we want to accomplish? How do we nurture the people around us and our world? Nurturing comes with tenderness. Tenderness is a very important element to feeling nurtured. So close your eyes for a minute, and we're going to take a few moments to have our breath so relaxed so you feel the elevation of your breath. You feel your breath is helping you completely connect with you and disconnect with the outer. And the way we do that is we take a deep, long, slow breath and feel this breath, filling your lungs, your brain, going into your heart, into your solar plexus, going into your legs, your knees, your thighs, and all the way down to your ankles and your feet. And as you exhale, please exhale with a little sigh. Ah. And now as you inhale, allow the inhalation to pull you back inside, as if you feel that there is a little rope that's pulling you back into your inner world. And as you exhale outside, I'm just letting this plane just pass by. You see, that's the world. There is always going to be the noise, the external noise, but our commitment is to stay centered back inside. And I'm just going to play some very soft, guided meditation music just to help us relax even more. And going in deeper into the part of us that is very still. And again, take a deep, slow, relaxed breath and feel this breath is given to us freely. And as you exhale again, please exhale with a sigh. Ah. Make a habit to exhale with a sigh because our nervous system is given a command to relax as we exhale with a sigh. It is like telling the brain, everything is okay. I don't need to hold on so tight. And throughout the day, make a habit to exhale with a little sigh so you hear yourself. Ah. The next thing I want you to do is take your fingers and gently place them in your jawline. And let your jaw drop and massage the jaw all the way. And again, just do a whispered ah. And let the breath come in relaxed. And as you breathe in, or you are letting yourself be breathed, lean back. Now I want you to take your fingers and massage gently your third eye. This is the spiritual eye, which is between the two eyebrows. And feel the awakening of your spiritual energy. And let this gentle breeze, this gentle light-filled energy start to open up and fill you. Let it come into your heart. You can even place your hands in your heart. And feel your heart expanding, softening. Are there any areas in your heart that you are worried, that you are judging, that you are holding back loving from yourself? Let that go right now. Let any areas where there is tightness in your heart, exhale and create space in your heart. And when you think of nurturing, what is nurturing to you? Is it slowing down? Is it being gentle? Is it being tender? Is gentleness how you will hold a baby ever so gently? Whatever nurturing is for you right now, please evoke that essence and bring it present in your consciousness. Especially focus on your solar plexus. That's where we hold emotions. That's where we hold sadness and grief, separation, worry, anxiety, all these emotions, as if there is a cauldron inside of you that encompasses all these emotions, but then you visualize and you see this beautiful waterfall coming into your heart and going down into your solar plexus and down into your feet and cleansing any feelings that are cumbersome and heavy. Just do that right now and feel this waterfall is coming from the top of your head. You can even take your right arm and touch the top of your head and massage gently the crown. This is where the top crown chakra is. And feel this waterfall is coming down all the way to your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart, down into the solar plexus, the spleen, the sexual creative center, down to your thighs, your knees, and all the way down to the feet. And let us do a whispered ah together. Ah. And now imagine a beautiful bubblegum pink, just the pink roses that you see in these beautiful gardens, fragrant. And imagine this pink color with the fragrance of a rose surrounding your whole auric field. Your whole energy is being surrounded by this color, and you feel encapsulated by an energy field that you are protected, surrounded, and filled, being gentle with yourself. And everything inside of you feels nurtured, from the cells to the bones, to the veins, to your organs, to your beautiful heart that's beating right now, to your breath. Just see everything is being nurtured and watered. Drink from that beautiful, nurturing energy that is of the spirit that sustains us. And say inside your mind, I am nurturing and allowing myself to be nurtured by the Spirit, by others, by the beautiful energy of my world around me that I create. I am allowing myself to be nurtured. And take a deep breath, my friends, and feel this energy as if it is as real as your physical body, because it is here. And just take your hands back in your heart. And one of the most wonderful ways to be nurtured is to say thank you. Thank you to yourself. Thank you to your breath of life. Thank you to the spirit that sustains us. Thank you to you. Thank you to the people around us. Thank you to everything. And I thank you for giving me this time to be together. I send you my nurturing thoughts. I send you my love. And I really sincerely hope we will see each other soon. And every day we will nurture ourselves more deeply, more fully, and let that quality of nurturing and tenderness and gentleness be amplified. It takes the willingness, it takes a mindset, and it takes commitment. But let's do it, because the world really needs nurturing. And you, my friends, are the nurturers, the mothers and the fathers of the world. God bless us.
I don't know about you all, but I definitely feel nurtured after that. And as Agapi and I were finishing that, she said, I know that was a little longer than you asked, but man, that's what I needed. So I hope it was the same for you and the same experience. And we are the nurturers. This is our calling in the world. I think that's how we are attracted to each other. That's what the Wellness Moonshot provides us. And so now it's my pleasure to hand it over to Renee Moorfield, who curates the content for us for each month of the Wellness Moonshot. She also serves on the Global Wellness Institute Board of Directors and is CEO of Wisdom Works. And so Renee, over to you.
Thank you, Kate. I have to say, I also needed that incredibly much, especially this week. And I could have just stayed there for the remainder of this hour. So I love getting this opportunity, these few minutes to talk to us as a community, because as wellness leaders, I think of us as this global network that is amplifying the energy of each other. We are channeling energy toward activating well-being, and we're amplifying the power of each other, and then supporting communities and societies and companies around the world. Nurture, when who knew what would be going on in the world when the editorial calendar came about and nurture was going to be on this month? Who knew that we'd be in a global pandemic for now 9 to 10 months globally, having this collective experience together, and in the US having such interesting, I'll use that word, presidential elections, and having, conflicts around the world for us to all be present to and be meeting with a sense of well-being instead of reactivity and stress. So nurturing is a perfect topic for us. The Latin root of nurture, nutrere, means to feed or to cherish. And I want to focus on the cherish part, because often we as a community talk about prioritizing wellness and well-being, but there's something different about cherishing it. I think about like a container or a bowl that we soften into, that we hold, that my dearest friend in the world just got a brand new puppy, and think about how you hold that puppy and you just absolutely cherish it. How can we cherish that for ourselves, and how can we support others in leaning into that wisdom that they already know about how to cherish? So there's 4 things I want to bring out, and these are in the article, so the article will reinforce this. One is to nurture the feminine. And I will tell you kind of personally, I wrote about this one because it's something that I am continually working on myself as a driver and an achiever in life. How can each one of us step back from the pace and widen our gaze? Even right now, as I'm speaking, if you sit back for a moment and allow your vision, instead of to be focused directly on me and the computer, allow your peripheral vision to come in and notice what you can see peripherally. By keeping your gaze forward, notice how wide it can be, and really tapping into that energy of softness, that energy of gentleness that Agape brought up, that energy of what is naturally unfolding. So that is a position we can take as wellness leaders, especially if we find that we are trying certain strategies to push wellness into our organizations or our communities or our educational systems, and they just aren't working. If we take a step back and widen and tap into not just the masculine energy, but that feminine energy of softness and noticing what's naturally unfolding, we will notice that there's already momentum for well-being. People are already rising up to prioritize well-being. So that's the first. The second is nurturing compassion. I won't spend too much time on this because Agape, boy, she really took me there personally. I loved it. In the middle of all of our stressors, our natural reaction often is to meet that stress by reacting to it, sometimes even with a hardness. And that can cause missteps. That can cause us to say things we didn't mean. That can cause broken relationships. That can cause pushing in a way that wasn't intended. That can cause blaming. That can cause venting. So if we take a step back and bring some compassion to ourselves, and also bring a compassion to others. Even in my own household, this week has been kind of stressful. I've noticed, okay, things are quivery, and noticing, okay, this isn't about us. This is about what's happening in the world. Now, how do we bring compassion to this bubble, this cocoon that we have right here? So bringing that compassion into your relationships and into your own body. The third is asking for support, so nurturing support. Noticing we're not on this journey alone. All of us are on this journey, and everyone is on a journey. What request do you need to make of someone else to really support you as showing up as your best self, especially in this stressful time? Maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a dear friend, but really asking that question and making that clear request. And then the fourth is nurturing those self-care actions that support you. I mean, this is a brilliant group of people. You already know what supports your well-being, but what are those actions that maybe you've let go of when things have gotten really stressful and fast and complex? Maybe you've let go of those. For me, I'll share with you my meditation practice. I'm a 30-year meditator. And this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't meditated in like 4 days. And the moment I sat on the mat, I felt myself get teary because it's like, back home, I am back home. So what is that practice for you? Maybe it's how you eat, maybe it is exercise, maybe it's getting more rest, whatever that is, just nurturing that self-care in yourself. So those are 4 strategies and 4 things to think about just to support ourselves and each other.
Thank you so much, Renee. These are definitely strategies I have been using not only throughout this month, but before, as we put these things together, like both Sarah and Renee have said, a couple months before, trying to work those in and then being reminded of them for this month and how I moved through this month. So now we'll move in, one of the most important pieces of these celebrations, as well as the Global Wellness Summit and Institute, is really connecting with each other and knowing that, as Renee just pointed out, you have a support system. You have people who are doing this with you. And so we're going to move into breakout rooms now. What I will do is I will set this up. You'll be given a prompt to join the room. If you just click that, then you'll be taken into that room. You may be muted when you go into that room, so do just keep note of that. Again, the mute button is in the bottom left-hand corner. We'll be in the breakout rooms for about 10 minutes. And what we'd like you to do is just discuss how you nurture wellness within yourself, your family, your community, your team. Reflect on those practices you've been given throughout this talk, and just kind of share with each other, and start with sharing your name and where you're calling in from. So I'm going to set up the breakout rooms. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. And I'm going to open all rooms. Again, you'll get that notification to just go into the room. And if you're in there alone, don't worry, I'll be changing you momentarily. Those left here, have you gotten the message? Wonderful. Everybody should be coming back in just a few seconds.
I was there on the call earlier. This is the second time I joined. I was there before.
Yeah.
I heard about the nurturing.
Oh, great. Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, good. Well, we have 20 minutes more left to nurture ourselves. So.
Oh, great.
You wouldn't mind muting yourself. There's a lot of background noise, Vinti.
Yeah, TV.
Thank you.
News time, India, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
National news. And we are so very anxious about your elections.
As are all we.
It globally impacts everybody.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed those breakout rooms. Would anyone like to share something they heard during the meeting, or something that impacted them, or a different way to nurture yourself or your team? Just feel free to unmute yourself and volunteer, or I can call on some people too.
I think, if I may, Linda said something very interesting that perhaps we hadn't thought about, is that with all of this wearing of masks, that for some people it's very hard to gauge people's, what they're saying, reactions and things like that, and it can make that very, very challenging. So, to really value and cherish our senses is so important, and to look after them. That was a message that she gave that I thought was a lovely one.
Definitely. Yes, reconnecting to each of our senses.
Yeah.
Anyone else? James?
I can go. How are you? I think we had a beautiful chat, Sarah and Alicia, and I think the key message that came out of it was empathy. whether you're managing a team or you're a member of a team that's being managed by a manager, just being able to listen to your team or your manager and be honest, right? And share if you're not having a good day, or if the day is a little bit stressful, you have kids running around that are in a hybrid model, or you can't make that deadline. Just being honest and working with each other through honest, empathetic communication.
Yes, I have been experiencing that this week as well. Yeah, and experimenting, I will say, with that.
It's always an experiment and adjustments, right?
Right. Anyone else?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, this is Rang from Dubai, and my chatmate was Regina Spadajol from Maryland. First of all, she confirmed that we were both prize winners. She won it in September and I did in October. So we discussed how we spent our $50 or no. But amongst different things that we shared, I think the key takeaway is, and I found myself on the same page with her, that as wellness leaders, but also as business leaders, sometimes we face a situation, it does come up, where the nurturing that we intrinsically have within ourselves and try to reach out to others bounces back, where the other person presents a wall. And our conclusion in this was that just like our nurturing never stops, we owe it to ourselves to keep radiating this nurturing attitude so that other people are drawn towards us and share in the broader benefits. And there will always be people who will put up the block, but hopefully over time, they too will all gravitate towards each other. So that I found is a wonderful thought that we shared.
Yes, thank you very much. Kelly, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, I was speaking with Maria from Guatemala, and I'm in France, so it's quite a long distance call. We just, I think what we had in common is that we both have our families under the same roof, me with my husband and 3 children, and then she with her parents. As a 30-something-year-old, we're back under the same roof. And so I think empathy that you just brought up was important, and also just considering that we all have our different agendas, because some of us are working from home. My son is going to school, but we're in France, we're back in lockdown for this whole month of November. So we have to go back to being kind to each other and sensitive to people's isolation time, so that we can close a door and actually be by ourselves in one room on our own. So.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone for sharing your insights that you had during the breakout rooms. I know it's some key and valuable time, and we hope that, as we mentioned earlier, they can be a sense of support for you going forward and those people that you connected with. And now we will transition into another experience with Randy May, who has been able to join us for several previous calls. So we're grateful to have her back with us. She's a mindfulness and meditation teacher, a counselor, and founder of Inspired Journeys. Randy May, over to you. Oh, where's she? You there? You're on mute if you can hear me. There you go.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm really grateful to be here with all of you, especially during this time in the world. The world is trying to figure itself out. And I think we're all impacted by it in different ways, whether it's personally, whether it's through family, whether it's through our businesses. And I think nurturing is a perfect word for what we need right now. And so we had a beautiful meditation this morning. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't start, because I needed that. So I'm grateful for that. But what I want to invite us to do is a little bit of reflection. I think journaling is so powerful. And anything that's created in the world, it comes from a thought, and you have to write it down. The chair I'm sitting on, everything around us comes from a thought, and it goes onto paper, and then we expand upon it and express it. And so one of the things I want to invite you to do is to ask yourself this question: if I had no limitations, how would I nurture myself? So if I had no limitations of job, family, stresses, business, no limitations, how would I nurture myself? How would I like to nurture myself? And I want to invite you to ask yourself that question, because when we are leaders in wellness spaces, we're often nurturing everybody around us. And it's important that we kind of take a moment to put our needs into the mix. And even if you don't get to them this week or this weekend, at least it's a practice of asking yourself without limitations, how would I nurture myself? So that's one question. So I'm going to invite you, as you think about that question, to take a pause and just even to close your eyes and just turn inside for a minute. And as you turn inside for a moment, asking yourself the same question that I just asked: if I could nurture myself without limitations, without restrictions, what would that look like? And just noticing the picture that inside of you, your mind, your being, your spirit paints for you. Not judging it, not saying that it's impossible, just allowing that image to come up and be clear for you. So we're going to sit with this for about 30 seconds, noticing what you see yourself doing. Noticing where you are. Noticing the activity. And taking a nice deep breath in into your body, expanding the breath in this possibility. And whenever you're ready to let it go, feeling the body softening, feeling the gentleness of your exhale, and giving yourself permission to make whatever came up for you your reality. So I'm going to invite you to open up your eyes. And if you can, write down whatever it is that came up for you. So whatever you saw yourself, in the way that you saw yourself being nurtured, in the way that you felt you need to be nurtured, just taking note of it for a moment. I have to ask my own self. So I'm not asking you a question I don't ask myself. I ask myself this question all the time, because I think as we take care of others, our needs go on the back burner. But there's this other thing that happens, I think, with a lot of leaders. It's how do we allow people around us to actually nurture and take care of us? So can we give ourselves permission to allow people around us to take care of us? Leaders often want to be the caregiver and the person who sets the tone for everybody else. But I want to invite you to ask the second question: what would my life look like right now if I allowed somebody else to nurture me? So if I open myself up to the possibility of being taken care of, what would that look like? It could be maybe I say no to certain things, and maybe it means I say yes to certain things. So that's our second question. And the last question, whether you answer it now or you answer it later, these are questions that you can ask yourself for the rest of November. Maybe it's once a week, just checking in with yourself and asking these questions. But the last piece is, what parts of me want to be tended to? So I find this often comes up in my counseling practice, especially now in this time. And someone brought it up, I believe, Agape and Renee, they also brought it up, but this idea of softness. And there's always parts of us that are asking to be tended to. And sometimes it looks like we're frustrated. Sometimes it comes out as being short with people. But when that starts to come out, what's really happening is there's a part of us that's saying, can you tend to me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you nurture me? And so when we ask ourselves that question, what part of me wants to be tended to? So if you notice over the next month, because the world is doing what it does, and you feel like you're being short, you feel like you're being impatient, you feel like these things are coming up for you, just not judging yourself for it, but asking the question, okay, I feel this way I'm expressing myself with other people or maybe with myself. Can I ask myself, stop and slow down and say, what part of me is asking to be tended to? And sometimes that's an emotional question. And that's okay. If you cry when you ask yourself any of these questions later on after this call, or maybe throughout the month, don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like there's something inherently wrong with you, because what we're doing is inviting ourselves to really slow down and say that I have value and I matter. And then when I nurture myself, it's easier when people come to me with their challenges, with their problems, because I don't feel like they're taking away from me because I'm already tending to myself. So that's hopefully my contribution to you. I ask myself these questions all the time as a mom, as a leader, as a counselor. And I often find when I work with people, whether it's other business leaders or it's people that I counsel, that this idea of nurturing is something that gets thrown in our back pocket. And I'm so glad that this has come to the forefront for this month's theme. So please try to ask yourself those 3 questions, whether it's once a month, once a week, every other day, and just checking in with yourself and not judging yourself if you don't get to the answers just yet. So thank you so much, everybody, for slowing down with me and allowing me to participate with all of you.
Thank you so much, Randy May. Those are some great questions to ask ourselves. And like has come up in this call, we don't always integrate ourselves into the mix of nurturing. Like Agapi said, we are the nurturers. We are those who reach out. And so taking time as well for ourselves is also equally important. So thank you for those reflection questions. And we are nearing the end of the call, but we do have one more experience. So if you are able to stay with us, please do. This is another way to nurture ourselves, a fun and joyful way. And so before I hand it over to Lisa, I have one more thing. As those who have joined our call before know, we give away prizes for those who are integrating the Wellness Moonshot within their team, within their community. And this month, I am pleased to announce that Lisa Haran, editor of Mindstream Ventures in the United Kingdom, is our winner this month. And I'm so happy you were able to get on the call with us today. He is celebrating the Wellness Moonshot on mindstreamconnect.com. It's in her navigation menu, and she shares our content as well as her own with 2 additional articles, collections of reflections from readers, as well as an essay on walking toward enlightenment on St. James Way in Spain. So congratulations, Lisa. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Yes, would you like to just say a couple words? Yeah.
I would. I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank the Global Wellness Institute for putting this campaign together. I mean, it really gives great structure for us to talk about holistic wellness, mind, body, spirit. So I love the monthly themes, and I wish we joined back in 2017 when this kicked off, but you know what, we're going to make up lost time. And I absolutely love the call and want to help you get to 1,000 participants. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So wonderful. And congratulations. So Lisa will be receiving a $50 Amazon gift card and to use as you would like. Maybe you can share with the other participants where that gets to go. So thank you all. And thank you all so much for joining us, for the work you do every day in creating a world free of preventable disease. Susie, do you have any final words that you would like to share?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining. And I want to just contribute the fact that I have learned quite a bit from all of you over these months, and specifically today, that I think the idea of self-care is something that maybe we can really incorporate in our theme for next year. That the Moonshot is not just a celebration of how we can help others with their wellness, but this is a good hour of how we are caring for ourselves. So I think maybe that would be a good theme for next year. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, I completely agree. This is definitely an hour of self-care for me. And now it's my pleasure to hand it over to Lisa, who is joining us again. Lisa Fazzulo, founder and director of the Center for Transformative Movement who's going to help us nurture our bodies with some swinging. Lisa, over to you.
I wanted to respect everyone's time and say, let's take a vote. We could do something sitting at our desk for a minute, or we could do that for, it takes about 2 minutes. I just, it's already 9:02, so let's sit at our desk. Okay, if you can take your knees and take them out, so that basically spreading them. If you can take off your shoes really easily, that's better, but you can certainly do it in shoes. And we're just gonna tap, get on your toes. You can close your eyes and just tap, 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 little taps. You can do it with your legs together as well, but it's much easier and it reverberates through your body. And let's shake hands. So you're just moving that energy around, and you can bounce together, or you can bounce, just alternate. Take a nice deep breath in. Okay, and let's just stop suddenly. Putting our hands together in front of us and just sensing what's there. Encapsulating all of these beautiful concepts that we can turn and take in right now. Let's turn our hands toward our face and take a deep breath. And let anything unconsciously come to you that you really want to absorb. And let's bring the hands into our eyes, bringing that in. That's okay, Kate, we don't need. And then down.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, then let's get up. So if you wanted to do it, so let's just get up, and we're gonna swing. Instead of swinging 180, let's take it up and make a horse shape, okay? So it's, let's reach with our hands. Open your fingers. Notice how your whole upper torso is really stretching. Let your head follow your hands. Now let's let the elbows lead. Arms are gonna move, the whole arms, but let's let elbows lead. Nice deep breaths in and out. Okay, now the point of this whole thing is now let's let our shoulders lead. Shoulders get pretty linear. Horseshoe, so I'm going. Okay, now try your swing again now that we've added all those in. And let's take it in front. Let your head follow. Beautiful, let's just dance it out now. So that allows you, instead of just dancing like this, give a little more twerk. And you can swing up. You can let your body swing. Your head swing. And down like a clock. And let's end going back to how we started. Elbows. Take some deep breaths. Let's open up our body. So hands upward. Elbows and shoulders open. Let's do that close, palms down. Elbows and shoulders in. Beautiful. So when your hands are up, you go out and stretch here. When your hands are down, you stretch your upper back. So good. Let's shake it out again.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kate. Goodbye to everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great month. See you in December for the next moonshot.